All right. Wow. This vertical upstream is impressive. I didn't think it was gonna come out good, but look, I did. Hey now, what's good, everybody? What's good? Hey, what's up, Miles? What's good in the chat room? Wherever you are in the city, wherever you are in the globe, wherever you are, please write in the chat room where you're located, what you not what to, but how's things going, and what y'all seeking to accomplish in 2025. Oh, and one other thing, be careful. Try not to use all caps in this stream because Nightbot is very sensitive with all caps. So if you can limit the all caps, I think you should be good. I have the monitor because, as you know, this channel is still a progress. But anyhow, the links to follow me are the above. You can follow me on Twitter at ChaosRain7. You can add me as a friend on Facebook, Eric Ray on Facebook. Also, I have a Discord service as well. Please become a member of Discord as well. And no, I just want to know, generally where y'all at, how y'all doing. You don't have to really know much, keep it simple. And last but not least, become a member of the Chaos Rain Show as well. Now, I think I forgot my Discord. I'll put it in a second. So now, as we can see here, Willie D and the one and only Queenmaker, Princella Clark, right? It looks like there was a conversation. I call this a versus part, but nonetheless, a conversation that should be had. And you got to understand, guys, moving forward now, if you can't understand why people grift the way they do, there's no hope for y'all. Personally, I think the grifting is an ongoing process for one to seek not only validation, but also seek profits, and if done correctly, become filthy rich, if you know what I mean. And personally, how I look at things, that's what it's supposed to do. But y'all not familiar with the young, well, she's not young now, she's almost approaching 40. She was always like this for some time now. I think that people didn't follow her from 2023 up to last year, and last year generally, that like any marketer, she's trying to strategize and find methods, and I would say methods and things to galvanize a certain audience, which will garnish the right attention at the right time in the right space to hopefully help grow her regular social media portfolio than it was back then to what is now. So now, as you know, why we have to really look at this and discuss this, because let's be fair and honest, for those that don't know, especially the men that follow her, they think that she is, what she's doing right now is revolutionary. She's making change. And let's be honest, she is what we call speaking the truth that a lot of men have been talking about modern women for over 15, maybe even go as far as over 16, 17 years now. But I look at it as this is not something that she's speaking as truthful. She has always had episodes, even in her home, I think, YouTube to Facebook, social media. She always talk about women in a way, but we never pay attention to it because we always go back the bashing part of men, modern men. So no further ado, we are going to look at this conversation ahead of times. And I'm going to flip back and forth with some of this because let's be fair and honest. This is a visual thing, so I'm going to try the best I can to put out this material. Let me take a look. Oh, and if you guys want to support the channel, you know what to do. You get the Cash App or Super Chat. And like always, when I mean support, this is what I mean by support, if you know what I mean. Yeah, hold on. And this is what I'm talking about.
My money.
I told you.
Where is my money?
Ready? Bring me everyone.
I need my money. I need my money.
What do you mean everyone?
Everyone!
That's what I mean. So no further ado, let's run this tape. Fair use, fair use. Okay, let's go. Fair use, fair use.
No, because you're kicking up a lot of dust right now. And I do not want to come off as dismissive or insensitive, but I need to know, and I say this from the depths of my soul, who hurt you?
Well, when you live life, everybody gonna get hurt in this life. It ain't about if you get hurt, though. It's about, do you heal and do you learn from your lessons? So just living life. Ain't nobody hurt me to the point where I can't bounce back, but I learned a lot. So just everyday stuff in the world, just dealing with humans. Humans hurt everybody.
Right?
Yeah.
True. But somebody hurt you specifically because you are hard on men. Like, am I right to assess that you have a particular disdain for men?
No, because if you ask the women think I'm hard on them. I'm actually harder on women than I am on men. But see, all y'all see is what I say about men.
Let's pause right there. Let me see if my thing's working. And this is new. Let me see. Okay. Oh wow. I'm still getting adjusted by this, guys, because this is vertical streaming. She is hard on women. If you look back in the history of Miss Clark, Princella, she actually devoted a good portion of her content for the last maybe 2.5 years. And this is after while Kevin was still alive. She was devoting her content counseling and guiding men. And we all know this strategy when it comes to men. Most men don't need much guidance or counseling because men overall, if they don't get it, they either do two things. Either they act right or get left behind. There's no in between. And some men were receptive to her message back then, before up to 2022. And I think around 2023, that's when she started to pivot her content to women. The months ago, at the end of 2020, going on 2023. So, in knowing this, she had to make a grift in a good way. So she's not really hating men. She's actually more hard on women because she feels women are the vessel, that pinnacle that will change the world, allegedly. But let's listen to more. Fair use. Oh, and I put fair use in there. Yeah. There we go. All right, let's go.
So what I figured out is that y'all know y'all nature. Come on. Y'all actually depend on women to pretty y'all up. So when a woman don't pretty the man up and just call it like it is, I've been around men for over 25 years, so I know the game. So seeing y'all and being able to speak what you do, it comes off, oh, she hate men. But how can I hate men when growing up, most of my associates were male? But I've been in the military, 8 years in the military, male dominated. You don't think I see stuff with them? If I'm going to the studio, because I rap too, Willie. I've been in the studio, been around men. I played football, basketball. I ran track, rifle team. I think I know a little something about men. And then on top of that, yes. Oh, I sold cars 3.5 years. Male-dominated industry. I've dated men, been friends with them, observed them in the work environment. I think I know a little bit about men. My last.
Now, because she said all that, right? Yes, you have a portfolio of dealing with men, and not only the physical, also sexual and all other forms of matter. Let's keep it real, right? But really, truly, unless you are a man and actually not only genetically, but be in an actual man's footsteps, like literally a whole week, not a day, but a whole week as a man, treated as a man in America, you really don't get the real glimpse of what a man actually has to deal with society and what he is in this world we call the globe, America, especially the West, we call it. So from your own experience, because you work with men and been around men, you really have no idea what it is to be an actual man in this society, including a black man. So for those that's listening into the chat room right now, and please guys support the channel anyway, donations, super chat, cash, or whatever. Let me ask y'all this. Do you think modern women today of any age really can conceptualize, understand what it is to be in a man's footsteps? That's my question I ask y'all. I hope y'all can answer in the comment section or in the chat room. But let's keep going.
as dealing with a man. It was two guys that just really sealed the deal for me. And one of them was supposed to be a friend of mine. And he tried to set me up for a large lump sum of money, right? Played the long game to try to position me to take some money from me. Well, after you get played, you know, before you learn life, you got to take some L's first. And every L you take, it's a lesson in that. And so I started to notice a pattern dealing with men, putting it all together. I just came to a conclusion. Hey, this is who men are by nature. This is their game. That's what it is. So instead of me playing with fire and continuing to get burned, trying to make men seem like they're these figures that they're not, just deal with men as they are instead of what you want them to be. That's really what it is. But because I'm not out there, oh, I need a man, oh, black kings, because I'm not saying that, I must hate men. But if you ask the women, they think I'm far harder on them than I am on the men.
So these women that you speak of, these are queens, or are these just women and you're going to make them a queen? Because you are the queen maker.
I'm the queen maker,
and
right?
You take these, so before they meet you, they are just pawns. They're merely pawns.
Correct, right?
Now, what do I mean by pawns? Because a pawn is something, if anybody plays chess, can be used. If I really go into the definition of pawns, because I haven't played chess in a while, let me look up what is the role of a pawn, because this will give context. What is the role of a pawn? Oh, damn. And it says here, the role of the pawn. And let's say this game of chess. Pawns may appear small and unusable, unassuming, but it plays a crucial role. You hear that? Each player starts with 8 pawns, and their position and movements can significantly impact the game strategy. So, like anything, you're supposed to be used. A pawn is a vessel, is an object. It needs to be used. So, to the women that sign up and learn a little bit of her game or teachings, like a pimp, you do know you're being used as a pawn, ladies, right? You're aware of this, right? And to know most people that don't understand the game is the game. You're being here on this board to be played with, unless you know how the game works, what the rules of engagement, how the game is supposed to be played. And what she said there, she's teaching these women the game, but they are pawns in a bigger scheme or bigger agenda to what she truly is trying to accomplish. But what is she trying to accomplish with all this? Besides teaching women and holding them more at a higher esteem of their role in the society. Well, let's listen to more.
You're going to make them out of a queen.
I'm going to make them out of a
by decoding love, men, and manipulation.
Correct.
Now, when did you get on this journey of...
And for those that don't know, manipulation is a form of what is now known as dark femininity. For those that don't know that, it is a form of dark femininity, a very wicked form. And if you have to manipulate a man to get certain things done, then you are a whore, a bitch, so-called what they consider the word lady in a very negative way, not even a positive way. Because there's words, the word on the streets that's floating around, the term that's being used now. I can find on the social media that lady, the term lady is not a good endearment from what I know, from what I'm hearing. So let's keep going.
Decoding love, men, and manipulation.
Okay, so before the manipulation thing came about and before the men thing came about, the love thing was dropped on me in 2016. And this was like a download. It just came out of the sky. And I was given this concept, and I call it the 5 components of love. Now, I wrote a book on this concept in 2018, and I published it in 2019. But this book had absolutely nothing to do with men. It really focused solely on the concept of love. 2 years after that, which was 2021, is when I came to the conclusion that men were incapable of love. And I based I based my assessment from the book that I wrote, The 5 Components, and constantly seeing the failures in not just my relationships, but all of the people around me, listening to people. I came to the conclusion that the reason that y'all having these problems is because you're dealing with people who are incapable of love. So women are trying to squeeze something out of men. It's like trying to squeeze blood out of a turnip. And if you stop doing that, your life could probably be a little better. While I was on TikTok trying to sell my book, this is when I came up with the workshop, Love, Men, and Manipulation Decoded, because I was trying to explain the concept of the 5 components of love and why I came to the conclusion that they were incapable. So I started mapping this out, and it turned into the workshop that I have. When it comes to manipulation, now,
I hope that didn't go over your head. And I think she still sells books on the Amazon. And the book is right now I think the book now is going to be 6 years old since it was physically published back in 2019. But from what I'm hearing from another content creator, he roughly said this book very much underperformed, meaning it did not sell a lot of copies. And usually as an author, you want to at least get like close to 1 million, 2, 3, 4 million. If you're creating any form of book, whether in physical or ebook, you want to be selling in the millions, not under the millions. Because really truly, anything under 1 million is very much low performing, and most likely most people don't really take your work seriously. Not saying they won't read the book, but just by the title alone and who you are and how you are promoted throughout the social media streets, they don't look at your work as anything scholarly, which I find that very ironic. But like I said, I take the man's opinion more strongly, because the one I'm talking about, he wrote a couple books, and two of them, actually one was a bestseller, and the other one is going to be now a bestseller from what I'm hearing. So let's hear about this manipulation nonsense. And I'm pausing time after time because, as y'all know, it is what it is. Berries.
2 of my associates throughout life were actual pimps, okay? One of the pimps I never met, but he would always tell me the game on men. The other one would do that too, but I knew this one in person. This was the one that tried to set me up for a boatload of money. But I read...
Did y'all have a romantic relationship?
No, it wasn't like that. No, what he wanted to do, he wanted to do a podcast with me. But he was trying to set me up to do all the work, but benefit from all of the work that I was doing. Okay. So with them, this is how I was introduced to like Pimpin' Ken's information and all of that stuff. So what I started doing was putting the dots together, because by the time he tried to run game on me, I'm like, man, do you think you my pimp or something? Right? So I found out the game. I was like, you know what? This is it. This is just the nature of men. This is just who they are. So women are constantly complaining and confused about why they're having a relationships that they're having with men. So it's like this. Okay, if this is really a problem, men do tell you to choose better. And I'm totally agreeing with that. Women need to choose better. But
wait. But do women really choose better? What's good, DOD? How you doing, sir? Hope everything's well. But really, do men really choose? Do women really choose better? Because to choose better, that is considered a choice. From last time I checked, you have free will to do so. But women nowadays complain about the choices that they have in front of them, but they are declined by their own merit to choose better. Matter of fact, they rather complain about the options they have in front of them by choice, and will push off the next man, particularly if we talk about this community here, that they blame most of the dudes that, let's be honest, kept their head straight, did what they have to do. Hell, some of them got in trouble for all we know, and they sit there, point the fingers at them as the problem. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? They're bitching and complaining that you're the problem. Wow. Wow. Imagine that. All right, let's keep going.
To know better is to do better. You can't do better if you don't know better. So I decided to teach women better, breaking it down through what I have called the 41 Shades of Men. Once I give you the information on men and you totally see this from a neurological and biological and psychological perspective on the male's nature, now the onus is all on you. Because you can't change a man. You cannot make him become a cat. You can't make him become a woman. A man is who he is. So now, what hand do you have in it? And what I come to find out is after you finish talking about men, women hold 90% of the responsibility. So this is why even though I say what I say about men, women see that I have a harder fist on them because in my mind, most men are incapable of doing all of the stuff that women want them to do.
What do women want men to do?
The reality is women want men to be their personal slaves. Women want men to placate to this.
Did that went over your head, people? Did that go over your head? I hope that did not go over your head a little bit. Did that go over your head a little bit? I mean, literally, did it go over your head? You are supposed to be the slave. And we all know what the definition of slave is. Oh, no, it didn't go over your head? Oh, good. We all know the definition of what is a slave, right? Now, as a person, I rebuke. Wait, actually, I got something better. It's a good thing I've said that. I totally do this.
Rebuke. I rebuke you. I rebuke. I rebuke you. I rebuke. I rebuke you.
I rebuke that bullshit right there, man. I am not no one, and I mean no one, slave. If you want a slave, ladies, buy a cat, buy a dog, live comfortably, and if all else fails, die alone. Because that's as close as you're going to get to slavery, unfortunately. But all that other extra bull crap, that's the only way you're going to be getting a slave. And trust me, gentlemen, there are men right now, as we speak, have signed up for slavery with modern women, particularly, I think black women especially. They did sign up for that. You know, that is actually a choice. You know, your woman runs you. You know, in many aspects. It's sad. It's really sad. It's actually not bad. I mean, really, it's really. But I'm keep real. Most men today have signed up to become slaves to modern women. All right, let's keep going. Where am I? Okay, let's go. Fair use.
Fantasy that they have in their mind. And women got a lot of fantasies. Women want men to be these aggressive vessels that have a woman's nature. This is what they want. It's like they want their cake and eat it too. So they are addicted to sex, but to justify their sexual addictions, since they can't stay away from it, they have to try to make the man become a version of a woman that they like sleeping with, right? So she has a movie in her head, and she has roles that she has slots for. And there's a slot that she has for a romantic partner that only a man can be cast as. So she's willing to cast any kind of man and put him in this role. And if he's going to play this role, he has to do every single thing that she wants him to do. Pay the bills, keep your sexual organs only to me. I'm going to trap your eyes. You can't see no other woman in the world. You focus on me and on me only. And you give me all your money, right? And if he don't do everything that she want him to do, the relationship.
What's good, Tevin? I see you in the chat room. What's good, Tevin? Hope everything's well, all well with you, brother. Let's keep going. Fairies.
Don't work. So what I've come to find out is men are narcissistic, but women are 1,000 times more narcissistic than men because women want to be the center of the universe, right? So if you find out everything that you find out about men and you're still trying to approach them the way that you approach them, ultimately the problem lies on the woman because the male follows her. The male is a reflection of the woman. So no matter what I say about men, it's all gonna circle back to what women want, and men are jumping to everything that women desire. Right? That's the problem.
You said in a recent video that I saw, well, in a video that
And before we continue, guys, let me check how we do on the likes. Let me see what we doing on likes. Just gonna take a look. Okay, we're doing all right. Yeah, hit the like button. All right, let's keep going.
saw recently, that you realize how hard it is for men to be men after you dated a woman. Expound on that.
Okay, so
Well, I'm going to push back on that, and here's why. This is my understanding, not what I believe, but this is my understanding. I'm gonna tell you, modern men today, and I'm not sure why Mr. Willie D asked that dumb question, but all right, it's a question nonetheless, and I'll give you a answer. Most men today don't really have any harsh feelings, much less really care that the woman they're dealing with or their wifey, girlfriend, or whatever, maybe their wife, maybe they might have an issue, but generally they're not so involved or impressed or really care much if their woman that they're dealing with now, physically, sexually, relationship in all aspects, has had relationships with another woman personally. And the reason why I say this is because in the mind of the psychology of the man today, not males, men. I don't like using that word males. I'll try to refrain as possible as saying that it's kind of neat or cool to find a woman has been with another woman, because in his psychology, it opens the door that he could have more than one woman, much as him and his girlfriend, they can have a menage a trois, a threesome. He's the man, and he's dealing with two women. It is what they call a fantasy, a dream worth fulfilling for most men, to know they could be in bed with more than one woman. Their girlfriend, the wife, and her girlfriend is such a twisted, beautiful fantasy, if I do say so myself. So I am the notion, I really disagree that, man is going to be turned off that a woman he's dealing with has been with another woman. Personally. Well, let's listen on to her response. Fair use.
like I just told you, I've been around males for 25 plus years. I'm a tomboy, ex-military, football, but I've never really had female friends. I grew up in a male-dominated, so I understand males a lot more than I understand women. However, I've been through the same things that women are complaining about with males. So when I first started my journey helping women, I thought that a lot of women thought like me. But I come to find out they don't. So my third girlfriend, because it wasn't the first two girlfriends I had, it was the third girlfriend that really made me see. And it wasn't just her. It was the responses that I got from break.
It's funny that he's not aware that the camera fell down. I mean, you gotta make sure the production quality is a little bit better. I mean, the visual's nice, but you gotta make sure everything is functioning. That's like a blooper. Anyhow, let's keep going and hit the like button, guys. Oh, and another thing, I forgot to say this. You don't know what time it is. Please support the channel.
My money.
told you.
Where is my money?
Betty, bring me everyone.
I need my money. I need my money.
What do you mean everyone?
Support the channel, guys. Either super chat or cash app. All donations we call. Any question that's been posted on super chat, I will read it out loud for those and try to answer. Let's go. Fair use, fair use.
Up with her from a lot of women, and I realized that she was the one that made me realize that women are totally entitled and lazy. It might appear that women are not lazy because they do the bulk of the housework and all this stuff. It might appear that they're not lazy, but the only reason that they're doing that is because they're trying to force men to see that they don't need any other woman. Like, women voluntarily take on all of the responsibilities so that she can say that my man don't need no other woman. So this is self-inflicted.
Well, to roll back, most of my women today are lazy. Matter of fact, for those that's in the chat room, and I need y'all guys or women that's in here, see if you agree or disagree with this. You know why most women are really lazy? Because of modernization with the advent of technology. We remember back in old days we had to do things to maintain a household or do regular mediocre work where you had to use most of your hands and a few tools here and there to get simple tasks done. Not in the modern, high technical 21st century technical age we are in now. That most things are more convenient and easier to complete more simple tasks at a more faster rate. We have computers, apps, certain drones, certain devices now that, do things that take pressure off the regular tasks that most people do, especially when it comes to women. And that was all designed and created by who? A man. So now what happens with technology, it has made the typical modern woman lazy. Matter of fact, it got so worse, most women can't even boil an egg. Let that sink in a bit. Fair use, fair use.
She's not doing it because it's got to be done. She's doing it to control the man. So when it comes to the modern, quote unquote, woman, the modern woman, I'm realizing that, wait a minute, you want me to stop? I'm trying to go to an interview and you're making me late. And I got to go to a gas station, brand new gas station. Why don't we go and take care of everything at one spot so we can just get on the road? You want me to stop before the gas station to take you to a special place to use the restroom. Now you talking to somebody. I done slept in the woods, having to dig foxholes, going to porta potties. I done drove trucks, being in the oil field, using porta potties out there, stopping at truck stops, taking showers. This is me. So for me to stop at a gas station to use the restroom, that's nothing. But for her, I don't use.
It was beneath her.
It's beneath her.
Now we all know who she really talking about. She talked about the Miss Taylor. And it's funny, when she did that video or that live stream months ago, right? That was her highest view video since she's been doing content on YouTube. And I pondered saying, if this is the highest form of work you've done, I mean, it's every other work you've done up to part has not been hidden on ish. Like literally. And the funny thing about that is, whether it's true or not, you actually reveal your hand once the relationship is dissolved. And we all know most smart women can't keep their goddamn mouth shut. They like to talk and tell their business so the whole world see what's going on. For those that don't know. There's nothing behind closed doors we don't know about regular modern Western women today about her business, from what she does in her personal or non-personal life to how she interacts and deals with her own children. Social media is that platform where you could understand and learn the typical woman like an open book. And that, I mean open book digitally, a digital book in plain sight. Y'all follow me? All right, let's go. Let's continue. Fairies.
And if I was with a man, he would stop and take me to the restroom and to use whatever restroom I wanted. And then all the women, see, it was the women. It was if it was just her that would, I'm like, okay, bitch, you crazy. But for the collective of women that's watching this, and as I'm telling the story, it's a slew of women that was like, that's your girl. You're supposed to take her, and she queen. And I'm like, what is wrong? I said, is this really how y'all are in relationships? Is this what you expect from men in relationships? Because if this is what you expect from men in a relationship, you got me twisted as a woman because, ma'am, we're both women. And if you think that because you have a vagina that I'm supposed to treat you like a simp would treat you, you got me twisted, right? And I started to see that, oh, a lot of women do think like this, like the world revolves around them. They use sex as a manipulative tool, but when you're in a lesbian setup, you don't have that power for sex over a woman that you would have over a man. So a lot of these women, they want women in a male body, but they like the perceived power that they can get by manipulating men with sex.
Is that why so many?
Well, that is the whole premise of a lot of women want to control every aspect of a man, including sexually. And to all the men that don't understand, the more you're strong on how you have the control and power of your own urge, the farther you're going to go in this society. I can't speak outside America, but just here alone, you're not going to get far off. Personally, you're not getting far at all. If you're weak between a lady's, legs, she got you. She got you. And that is her only trump card. And a lot of women nowadays think they don't need to be self-improved or do anything different because all they do is open their legs. Some man's going to jump in, enter her, and that's all she wrote. That's all she wrote. And there are some simps that's going to be thirsty for, box, want some box, engage in box. Have some of them talk about box more than anything else. And y'all know who I'm talking about, yeah. But we all know how this game goes. We all know how it goes. And I think the dudes that are more the simpish type keep these nice, lovely ladies in business, They keep them nice in business, by paying for their subscription on OnlyFans. Paying for the to be a subscriber on their social media, right? Or give them some form of attention. At the end of the day, they know that with this thing they got between it, and mind you, their mothers teach them this garbage, you know what I'm saying? And it bows young women, young girls that will become women of tomorrow to really express that power. Either they don't have to understand what that means, but when you are programming youth, especially women that your only value is between your legs, they don't see nothing else. Let's keep going. Fairies.
These dudes today, these really soft, cricket landing plane dudes, they get a lot of these women. These women are having sex with these dudes and having babies, but they immediately after they get the baby, they gone. They're not staying with these dudes. They're procreating with them, but they're not staying with them. I do suspect that women, at the end of the day, I think all women, I could be wrong. Well, I ain't gonna say all women, but most women. I think most women like a man's man. I think most women like men who are aggressive, not necessarily domineering, but aggressive, who are hunters, who are man's man. And I see a lot of these dudes today, they got money but
They don't
they
have
got
that.
women type ways. You
Yeah.
know, they got ways like women. Some of them even dress like women.
Mm-hmm.
They dance like women. Some of them talk like women. They look like women.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that underscores the point that you were making.
See, it's a weird dynamic with a woman, and this is why I understand why men can't figure out what women want. I totally understand why men are confused about what women want, because women actually play both sides of the fence on what they want. Women actually have a delusion in their mind. They really are delusional. So, women actually like aggression. They do. That is from a biological point of view of an alpha male. Alpha male. See, an alpha male and an alpha man are two different things.
Exactly.
Okay. So an alpha male, we're talking about on an animalistic level, okay, how he can dominate other males physically. When we start talking about a man, we're talking about somebody who has mental control. Women don't like alpha men. They like alpha males. And the reason why women don't like alpha men is because alpha men have self-discipline. They have self-discipline and sexual control where they can't be easily manipulated by women. Women like weak men. Women like sexually weak men because the only power that a lot of women have over a man is sex. And if she can't get you to fall for her sex, she's going to get mad. Women don't like to be rejected.
That went over a lot of people's head. Let's go. Let's wind it back a little bit. Yeah. Hold on. Rewind that.
For her sex, she's going to get mad.
Oh.
The reason why, if she, that woman's not going to really, the reason why women don't like alpha men for her sex, she's going to get mad. Women don't, for her sex, she's going to get mad. For her sex, she's going to get mad. Women don't like to be rejected. For her sex, she's going to get mad. Women don't like to be rejected. For her sex, she's going to get mad. Women don't like to be rejected.
All right. You know, I'm using different things to rewind that. But I hope that didn't go over your head. Now, a lot of men already know most women, generally all women don't like rejection. Nor as men, this is part of the game. Rejection is the part of life. How you overcome rejection is another discussion. But as men, we know that the possibility we're going to get rejected. Okay. But to most modern women, they define a man rejecting them, whether they look good or they look too big or they don't look attractive or even go as far as they're ugly, right? It hurts in the soul, the inner soul, down to their womb to find a man will sit there, look at them head to toe and reject them. Matter of fact, I think, now that I think about it, and Mr. over here, I think a woman getting rejected by a man might be even more dangerous than a man getting rejected by a woman. Now that I think about it. And why I say is because men are typically going to always know that someone's going to accept them or reject them. And that's way of life, personally, right? And you don't see a lot of men go out there and just go on a spree and deleting a whole lot of the female population. Like literally deleting females. But you know, we can't have this intelligent conversation because this is dealing with the logic at the end of it, right? But from what I'm hearing stories now, and there are articles on this, and there's some articles you had to dig up to find the truth, right? When a woman gets rejected, right? That man might possibly lose his job. Hell, might lose livelihood, and even go as far as the greatest exclamation point of all times, lose their life. Am I lying, guys? Am I lying? I'm telling the truth. I'm talking truth here. All right, let's keep going. Phrase.
They don't. So coming up against an alpha male alpha man who's not going to be easily manipulated or dominated, that woman's not gonna really deal with him. She will go to a alpha male who is sexually domineering, right? Because she likes to get smutted out, but she want to deal with a simp to get her way because she wants somebody that's gonna give him. But the alpha male is gonna use her. He's gonna drain her, but she's addicted to that thrill for him, right? She'll deal with an alpha man too if she feels like he's taking care of her, but ultimately she ends up dealing with a pimp in that regard, because pimps have self-control, a lot of them, right? Because that's the only way that you can run a pimp game and be a high-level pimp is if you have self-control. So she'll gravitate to that type of guy. She'll gravitate to a more feminized man just so she can manipulate him and get her way, and she'll cheat with an alpha male. So this is the reason why a lot of men cannot understand what women want.
Now that went over my head a little bit. Did it went over your guys' head a little bit? She says she'll cheat with an alpha male. Like she's going to cheat on an alpha male. You tell me she's going to cheat only on an alpha male? She's not going to cheat on a beta male? A sigma? Are you saying that she won't have the capability to do all that as well? Wait, what the hell is this? You don't think she's able to do that as well? I'm just saying. You don't think that she will cheat on any man, no matter what type of a position he is? I disagree. I think she will cheat because she opens the door for cheating, because that's what that's her intentions to do. But let's keep going. Various.
Because women don't know what they want. They gravitate to anything based on their emotions for the moment and their needs for that moment.
I know what women want.
Mm-hmm.
I'm one of the few men in the world that know what women want.
What's that?
Everything.
It's the truth. They want it all, which is the reason why sales and marketing campaigns typically gravitate to promote that you can have it all. If you got to sell a marketing campaign, because marketing is based on what people respond to, is really based on the human nature, responses by human natures and psychology. So they do a lot of psychological work to see what people will respond to. And what they found out is that women are greedy and they want to be the center of the universe. So we're going to market this to you to say that women can have it all. If you are about having it all, that shows how narcissistic you are. And there's no such thing as having it all, because you have to make compromises. You have to give up something to get something. You can't go left and right at the same time. So to market to somebody that they can have it all also tells them you can have your cake and eat it too. And women are doing everything in their power to find out how they can have their cake and eat it too. And so what I tell women, I say, you really want a woman in a man's body. So to be honest, since that's what you're looking for, what you need to do is just get you a trans man. But that.
All right, that's gonna go over a lot of people's head, and it go over my head. And I'm gonna switch videos because I want to go through this, speed this up a little bit. All right. Perfect. So for those and if you guys have questions, please, let me know, because this is a very much ongoing conversation. It is. Is it interesting? Yeah, very interesting. You heard this thing what Chaos said about if they can't get what they want with modern Western women, then women should have no problem. Or I think last time he said, or advocate men should be with other men, right? Which I'm totally against, because you should not be with another man if you're a man, unless you're that direction, or unless you're about that person, or you're about that life. You're a pokey man, I like to call it. That's the term I give it. But if you're not that type of man, right, you should seek a woman, right? It's only fitting. And I'm just checking my thing. What's this? But really, truly, that's update. Really, truly, if women think that they're just gonna package a man into a female mind, female actions into a male body, you're delusional. You're very much delusional. So let's switch and let's continue on with this.
Reimagine look like to you?
Okay. So if we want a functioning society, the truth about it is it takes a village to raise a child. And why does it take the village? Which means that you need an extended family unit, not a nuclear family unit. Because, see, a nuclear family unit creates a really dangerous dynamic for everybody, including the children, right? Extended family, you have the uncles, grandmothers, aunts, all of that really connected, which creates the village. Because after a certain age, the child begins to stop listening to the parents. They might take advice from other people, aunts, friends, and everything, but they won't listen to you. This is a natural rebellion process in child development, right? We understand that really the honest thing is the safest way and the most productive way for a man is to be working outside of the house, even if he's gone for extended periods of time, whether it be through the military, deployment, or truck driving. The male should be outside of the house because it's more conducive to his nature. But if there's a nuclear family set up, what ends up happening? If he's gone, the children are all on top of the mother, right, with no other line of support for her. So this runs her down because humans, we only have enough energy to expend. Well, if you leave a boy with a mother, there's a whole host of issues that can result from that male not being under a natural male dominance hierarchy, by him being disconnected from that. And by him being too connected to his mother can cause another whole host of problems psychologically for the male that will impede his development on the outside. How do you fix this problem? As opposed to sending them off, giving the mother a break by sending them to a public school or something, how do you combat that? Extended family and community support. Well, the problem is we live in an individualistic society now where everybody is an individual. You don't say nothing to my child, that's my son. You don't say nothing. Well, guess what? When we were growing up, on the whole block, everybody knew everybody. It was like we was family with our next door neighbors. So if one goes out, Sarah know what you're doing, Miss Jane know what you're doing, and everybody's got their eyes on you. So you can't hide and get away with nothing because they gonna call your mom and everybody's going to hold you accountable. With individuals now disconnected from each other, people just look, that ain't my child, and they turn their back. So when the child leaves the house, they know that they got free reign to do whatever they want because nobody in the community is gonna hold them accountable, right?
And that to me is considered dangerous, very dangerous. And this is why you look at how the society is structured now is they have to make children be chaotic because chaos brings disorder. And we all know the people that run society are the ones that bring and restore the order in which the world we live in today. It is the true chaos that we live in today. Think about this, gentlemen and ladies. Have you ever wondered why you step outside your own backyard and you always notice why the world's so fucked up right now? Why kids are out here walking from God knows hours on the street, doing nonsense, doing ill work, crap, doing things that you should not be doing. And no one's there to tell them, hey, stop it. Don't do that right there. Without getting chastised, without these little monkeys going up right on you and trying to either delete you or hurt you, or even go as far as the single mother will come up and tell you, say, you better not put your hand on my child. Because women today they love this disorder. They breathe in disorder. I'm not telling a lie. Listen to me good. Hear me good. Hear me out. This is their domain. This is how they function, right? So it's fitting that this world has to operate the way it is, because it makes the woman give them a safe haven to conduct and to become as chaotic as possible. Let's keep going.
So if we're going to have a fixed society, we have to bring back the extended family, and we have to bring back community support, which means that we have to get back into grassroots work, grassroots politics. We have to get back into community schooling. Like, we too far gone as humans to even go back to what actually works. But nuclear family was never it. Nuclear family is part of the reason why all of the problems existed, because even during the World War, when the men had to leave, right? When the men left and went to the World War, all the women had to take all of these jobs. Well, when they came back, the men didn't really have a role. So what ended up happening, because prior to father, their identity being branded as being a father, they were actually being branded to be soldiers to go die in the wars. Once they came back injured, we needed to find something that we could do for the males, because they came back from the war and there's nothing for them to do. So let's make them American dads now. Well, now this is a problem, because now there is a psychological issue with the man where he doesn't know what he brings to the table. And now the woman is in there doing all of these duties. Now he feels inferior. Like, this is a whole lot of issues. But on top of that, they birthed a whole lot of children that nobody knew how to develop and raise, because most humans are not studying child development. They're not studying human psychology. So they're just trying things. And, well, I didn't like how this felt when I grew up, so I'm going to do my child differently. And I'm going to give my child everything that I didn't have, which ends up screwing up the child's nature. And there's nobody with an actual philosophy or a moral compass or code of ethics where they're all in the community rolling on the same philosophy that can reinforce what the parents teach. Everybody on their own thing now, and nobody knows what they're doing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does. That's one of the biggest reasons why we have so much chaos.
Oh, wait. He said it. He said the word. This is who you think this is. This is chaos reign here, people. Now, I'm going to read this. A lot of those kids don't accept correction or advice well nowadays. And Christy, they're not supposed to, because the environment they're in, how they structure this society, it is intended for chaos to reign. Did that go over your head, gentlemen? Did it go over your head, Chris G? They're designed for chaos to reign. That's why you see the children, by their own will, whether they're young or not, or their brains not fully develop, are conducting and moving out of their intentions. And let's hear Willie D say. I would like when Willie D said that. I want Willie D to say that again. Hold on. All right, let's run that again.
Everybody on their own thing now, and nobody knows what they're doing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does. That's one of the biggest reasons why we have so much chaos in society at large. And that's not just black community, for those of you who sitting back thinking they're talking about them. No. We're talking about American society, because, to your point, we do not care about our neighbors. We don't love our neighbors. We don't love our neighbors' children. And they don't love us, and they don't love our children.
Right.
And this is why it's so easy for outsiders to come into the neighborhood and wreak havoc. This is why you have so many dangerous people who's seeking refuge in our communities, who gets a pass. They're in the community, destroying the community. but they're treated like kings at times. They're treated like queens. And they're detriments to the community. They got to go. It don't matter, you know, like, you know, whether they, you know, are black, white, or, you know, they come from the inside or the outside. If you ain't helping, you're hurting.
Correct.
And so those who are hurting, they got to go. And we got to be okay with that. And that it also, just to extend your point about, extend some commentary on your point about, you know, people doing their own thing. We living in this individual or this individualistic society, right? We do the same thing when it comes to. We do the same thing when it comes to just getting out, right? Many of us who get out, we're kind of taught to get out and don't look back.
Correct.
Like, don't bring nobody with you. Like, get out. Just run as far as you can. And we're seeing the effects of it. And the trip part about it is that a lot of us are still asleep at the wheel. We don't know that.
Yeah, so it's almost to a point that no matter what you do, it's going to produce a problem, because it's two sides to every coin, always. There's a pro and a con to everything that you do. And so even if you want to do community work, the reality that you got to come to is that you're dealing with a whole bunch of individuals that you have to inspire to make personal change who don't want to make personal change. And so then you have to say, okay, well, I'm going to just go at it alone. But if you go at it alone, now you disconnected from other people who you need networks with, right? So no matter what you do, it's almost another problem that's going to be created out of that situation. So the way I approach helping people, because it's really a humanitarian move that I'm making. I was given,
but really, no one told you to make no humanitarian move to better people. You know what I'm saying? It goes back to the notion, gentlemen, that what you do out here for the communities you reside, right? It is a duty, yes, but you gotta look at it as a form of, how can I say this? Charity, in a way. I remember Roger said something about charity, but it's beyond charity. It's like that is on your own accords and your own free will to go out and help your communities as a choice, mind you. And because this is your own choice to go out there and help your reside communities, and I know most dudes don't want to help the communities because they always ask, is it in it? What is it for you? I tell you, nothing. You go out there and help the communities today, you got to look at it as a form of charity. Unfortunately. But, you know, I can't tell you what to do. You're a grown man. You do what's in the best interest. Let's keep going. And before I keep going, let me see how we do in the likes, because I may not be keeping the likes late. Let's take a look. Let's take a look, see what we do in the likes. Yo guys, if you guys watching, guys, I know I got half more people on here. Please, guys, like this stream. Likes are free, so please hit the like button. I'm seeing the stream now, and we can use a few more likes. So please, guys, be so kindly hit the like button. And also, please, y'all know what to do. Y'all know what it is.
My money.
I told you.
Where is my money?
Benny. Bring me everyone.
I need my money. I need my money.
What do you mean everyone?
All right, let's keep going.
because it's really a humanitarian move that I'm making. I gave the example earlier to a group of people, and I said, if you break your arm, your wrist, or your toe, we all, when you come to planet Earth, everybody's going to be hurt. It's inevitable that you're going to experience pain in this life. But if you break something and you let it heal on its own, it's probably going to heal incorrectly.
Hello.
And you might have to go to the doctor and they see that your toe broke, but it healed incorrectly. What are they going to have to do? They're going to have to break it again and reset it in order for it to heal properly. Time heals all wounds, but they never said if it was going to heal properly or improperly. What you find is that people get broken in society and that they heal, but they heal improperly. And in order to fix people, you have to break them. You have to break them. Truth hurts. And the only thing that's going to set people free is the truth. The one thing that humans don't like, nobody like the truth about themselves. Nobody. And anytime you tell the truth about somebody, the first thing they call it is bashing. Oh, you bashing. This, you hate. Yeah. And it's like, oh, you're projecting. Well, who hurt you? Everybody hurt. Let's keep it a book. If you grow up in the world, you're hurt, right? Somebody hurt you. And it's all contributed. It's all attributed to interaction with other humans. So now how do we learn the lessons from the trauma and the pain that we endure? Because every painful experience has a lesson in it. And you'll continue to repeat the cycles until you break the pattern. Humans are pattern-driven people that have no self-awareness. And in order to change the world, to change any community, to change the outcome, there has to be a level of self-awareness per individual. But nobody wants to have the hard discussions. No. Let's just throw tomatoes at the person that's making us look at ourselves, right? So we can't have a strong society without strong individuals. And strong individuals are cultivated through self-awareness and self-discipline and self-mastery. And that is something that we've lost on both sides of the equation, male and female, because it's male and female who create the world that we live in. So ultimately, it is the mentality of all humans that we have to address in order to change anything. Well, most people know that that's far too difficult to do, and they don't take on that burden, and they just go live their life. That's where you get a lot of individualism from, you know. So I'd rather get down to the root of the issue as opposed to all of the surface level talk that most people do. Because when you listen to males and females, basically they're just in a sex war. They're in a sex, ego, and power war. Everybody wants to force the other one to bend to their will.
Yeah.
That's it.
Speaking of sex.
Yes.
Now, remember, I'm going to answer this question. Normally, I prefer a super chat, but I'm going to allow this one. What does the chaotic structure consist of? It consists of controlling the finance, controlling the three basic necessities of sustaining life. Y'all are familiar with this: food, clothing, shelter, right? If you control two of those components, you are living in a state of chaos. If you control all three, you're living in a state of chaos. If you're even controlling one, you're not in a state of chaos. What I mean by all this? What's one thing you know is that why people commit crime, rather non-offensive or offensive, physical offense, but that will cause one's loss, right, of life. One, they don't have no roof over their head. Number two, they don't got no adequate food. Now, I would say clothing would be the most basic necessity, but let's be honest. Nowadays, anybody can get clothing because there is what we consider a Salvation Army. There are many places that give away clothing for free. And how we know? Because clothing today, you can get anywhere, regardless if you're trying to look fly or nice, which is really not really a necessity, especially if you are like broke and poor. But one thing is hard to get around and get mostly is food. Food in the West is abundant here in the West, but it can be also scarce depending on the individual, right? Shelter is a necessity, because without the shelter itself, where are you going to rest in? Where are you going to nest in? Where are you going to cover yourself in regards to the elements? Because last time I checked, most of us that live in the West, in the East Coast especially, or even the Midwest, or we even go far out in the West Coast or down south, you do need something to put over your head, because you don't want to be living on the street corner, sleeping on the sidewalks, sleeping in the park, hell, even sleeping in the woods, where you might deal with the elements, rain, or the worst of all, snow. So with these elements, or with these three necessities, and two are taken away, you are in a state of chaos. So that is my answer to that question, Mr. Chris G. Woods, or Chris G. Hope you understand. Let's keep going.
What do you say to people who say that, you don't like men, or like you don't like older men dating younger women because you've hit a wall and you're not as desirable as you was when you're younger, so you try to shame men into not dating younger women? And I'm asking this specifically because I was in your comments on one of your videos, and people were insinuating that, and outright making those claims.
Well, they can make those claims, but I'm not in the market for a man, right? Let me tell you, men gonna sling phallus to anybody willing to take it. This idea that women hit the wall is a fallacy, because
There's no wall.
There's no wall, because the men will sleep with anything and anybody, right? Now, because here's the thing. These men are not wanting relationships with people. It's all about having sex. Now, what do men want? What do they prefer? The ultimate who they prefer to have sex with is younger chicks. I'm not trying to compete to be screwed. I'm not trying to compete to lay on my back. I'm not trying to compete to give over all of my agency to a man. I have no interest in cooking, cleaning, worshiping no man, stroking no ego, helping you build your dreams. I don't have that desire. So this idea that I would talk to girls to keep them from being wanted by a man, as long as he's driven by sex, which is his nature, is always going to be finding a warm hole to stick it in. Don't matter if she's 18, 15, 47. It ain't gonna matter. So I don't live like that.
87.
Oh, 87.
You know, this dude, I saw the little young dude, this little white kid, I think he was like, they say he was like 14, 15 years old. He violated this elderly lady. Like, this is recently.
Right.
He violated this elderly lady. Like, I don't even know how he did it. I don't, as far as like, I don't know how you, I don't know how you wrap your brain around something like that, but he violated this elderly lady that was, I think this lady was like in her 80s or 90s.
That's wild. I read something even wilder yesterday. You want to know what it was? Grandson was screwing his grandmother. He saw her naked, and she was 60 years old, and he was like, that's the finest woman I done seen, and he started sleeping with his grandmother. Like, so...
Now, that is repulsive. It's disgusting. But I will say this. 60 years old ain't what it used to be.
Hey, that's what I'm saying.
No, it's more beyond repulsive. And let me make myself bigger. Hold on. Let me do this. Because I don't really give a damn how she looked. Let's keep it real. In this society today, we're creating and breeding degenerates. And this is something we don't have the conversation with. Personally, I know most people don't want to have this conversation because we feel that as we get older, we get mature, that it's okay to do what the hell you want to do, go be about the world, sleep and screw anybody you want, and nothing in return is going to happen to you, and I call bunk. Like glittery. Yeah. That's degeneracy, you know. Regardless if it says she looked fine or not. No, your nephew happened to him. One of two things that's happened to him. He's been sexually touched by a man or another woman. Because to go in your, and I'm not sure what race, and I want people to give context when they put out these articles. I want to know who is the person, what's the racial background. These things are important because I gotta know who I'm really giving my attention and energy to. Most likely when I hear stories like this, it comes I'm looking at and thinking about that is really non-black people's problems. What I mean by this, let Chaos explain. Most likely you see maybe someone that's in the Latin community or a Caucasian community, different tribes of Caucasian, Italian, Irish, Jewish, wherever, you know, all, and Jewish is a tribe itself, but they all fall under European paradigm. Same with the Latinos, Spanish, Spaniards, you know. You'll find that behavior more commonly amongst their groups. Now, if you come across, you find a black person in this, I mean, we could go into detail what goes into the mind of a boy doing that, but we could always conclude that once sexual violence has happened to a boy, anything is possible. And that's something people don't want to hear. And I'm just telling y'all the honest truth. All right, let's keep going. Fair use.
Today, y'all 60-year-olds today, man, y'all put my grandma to shame. like that's no disrespect to grandma, and I love my grandma to death.
That's
man.
what I'm saying. Ain't no
but
wall.
These different 60-year-olds, these women today, man, y'all like clowning like 30-year-olds today, you know. So that's different. But yeah, that is disgusting, you know.
Yes.
But how did we sink so damn low?
Sex, because I understand why religion demonized sex.
But like I said, and I'll say this again about this thing they call the wall, right? The wall is there for a reason. And I'll be honest, it is the protection of you ladies, the wall. Because it gets you to get your act together and to move with purpose, to move with emphasis. You will not be sitting that dumb crap out the wall if you're still given access to your box of any age, including if you're up there in 56 years of age. Think about this. You know why a lot of women get mad when Kevin came up with the term the wall back in 2020? And trust me, this conversation about the wall was going on longer than that for those that don't know. It's beyond just the looks. Hell, if you keep your body tight. And there are some women that's older that kept their body pretty modest. But to say more or speak more into this or say more about this is the reproductive aspects, you know, the possibility of carrying children. Now, I know most people say, I don't want to be a certain age carrying children, which I agree. You don't want to be too old to be carrying children. But last time I checked now, most women that are getting older and now plan to have their first child at 40 is very much, I consider, and a new word I call it, nasty thing. It's a nasty thing. Let that sink in. All right, let's keep going. Farious.
Like I was telling my audience that I totally get why sex was looked at as a sin, because it is the most dangerous energy given to infantile human beings. I mean, that's just the bottom line, right? Humans cannot handle this powerful energy because this energy catapults them to do all kind of things. And they have no self-control. They have no sense of morality and no sense of ethics, right? And to live like that, to have discipline over your own body, the people cannot do it. And to have that, you have to live by higher virtue. And you have to have a level of willpower and self-discipline to go against your own nature. The humans are losing against their own nature, right? And so nobody wants to hear the dark sides of themselves. For somebody to get out and say, this is who you are, show you a mirror, man, that demons don't like the light. Vampires don't like mirrors, right? And so this is ultimately what we're dealing with. And the people who are, because humans are hedonistic, pleasure seekers, you cannot get them to stop seeking pleasure, because that's too painful, because humans are wired to seek pleasure and avoid pain. They don't want to go through pain, and to tell somebody to have sexual discipline, that's too painful for them. You know how painful it is for a man to have to deny his own nature? We understand that males are sexual creatures, right? And that sex for a man is far more of a need than just a regular want, right? So to tell this man to really go against the need to release, that's a lot of willpower that the man got to have, right?
If that's the case, Princella, if that's the case, why do women enter relationships with men and withhold sex?
Remember I told you, women like...
It's women likes the power dynamic why they refrain from sex, or actually, I'm sorry, hold the sex to the unfortunate little simps that give up sex, that want sex, begging for sex. They will spend money on a woman for the possibility of sex. That's who she holds the box to. The ones that are more than just thirsty, but they are thirsty. Let's keep it real. They're thirsty for sex, but they hold it because they know they can get what they want from a dude that is unfortunately desperate, and he's going to cough up his money, pretty much all of it, not some, but all of it, right? And in return, he's not going to get no box. That's how the game goes. Let me go back. But anyhow, let's keep going. Very useful.
The idea of having sexual power over a man. They like weak men.
But it's not going to work.
I know it's not going to work.
It's not going
That's why
to work.
I told you they like, It's like trying to fit a square peg into a round hole, and women want their cake and eat it too. I told you, women have a delusional mentality, right? They want to be the center of attention. The reason why women are illogical, like, I am not illogical by a long shot, but I come to find out that women are extremely illogical. On paper, the facts show that men benefit from marriage. Men benefit from having a woman in their lives. This is scientific fact.
Break it down.
Right? So men experience pain, physical pain, inflammation, when they experience 2 or more breakups, or when they live alone for a period of 6 years or more. It physically hurts men to actually break up. This ain't got nothing to do with love. This has to do with some form of attachment that is happening once a man is connected to a woman in a way. And if she breaks up with him, whether she goes cold turkey or she stays in until she is totally disgusted and then she decides to leave, something happens to a man where he feels physical pain. Men cannot handle loneliness. When you look at the statistics, men's lives are extended because women are in their lives. Women are the ones that typically create the social. She handles pretty much everything. She gets him to go to the hospital when he won't take care of himself. It's women that really extend the lifespan of a man.
Now, I'm going to pause there. Do y'all agree or disagree with that? And let's be clear. And this is why these conversations can become idiotic, goofy, and lack of better terms, right? It's because, let's be fair and honest, we still deny the human aspect of human nature, that we are sociable beings. And we do need each other for mystical tasks to accomplish the basics of daily life. I'm a man. I do need a woman in my life. I yearn for it. I love it. Nothing's wrong with that. I'm hoping in return, you as a woman have that same feeling as well. But the problem is, in this weirdo society we're in, they promote separation and degeneracy to the people. What I mean by this, did you know they promote more to be of the same sex than it was in last few decades? Have y'all aware of this? They also promote women and tell women that you could be strong and willful and do things independent without a man. These are all form of LGBTQ same-sex weirdo ways that they're promoting to the regular public for us as here in the West. I just want y'all to understand that. But let's keep going.
She does the cooking and all of this stuff. On paper, men are the ones who benefit from marriage. Women don't. But who is the one that's begging for marriage? It's women. Men actually don't want to get married. The women do. It's
Actually, but we gotta correct that. We have to correct that. Men now are still fighting and still getting married here in this society. So we have to ask the question, which men you talking about that's still not fighting for marriage? Now, there's some men, depending on their financial situation or where they are in life, they're not going to be so eager to marry someone here in the West, right? But that does not exude, or that does not give the typical man not only the excuse, but this doesn't really exert the man for not engaging in relationships and also seeking marriage, period. Most modern men today, the ones that choose to get married or not, are being more smart and selective today before they decide to take on a bride. Some of that is financially, and some of it is other aspects that you ladies could look into more in detail. But at the end of the day, what all that is against men in regards to systematic divorce, taking of one's economic stability, etc., etc., etc. Most men today that's thinking long term will not jump the broom in regards to getting marriage. Women, the ones that do fight for marriage, I always question this and ask this question personally. Why do you want to get married? Why do you want to get married? If you can't ask crucially, besides any other low-level answer to this, why you as a woman seeking marriage? Because last time said she's saying that women are pushing this and men don't want to get married. There's reason why men, I tell you, that don't really think is, or really think, not feel, but really is not going to go as far as the way to get married here in the West, because the systems put in place does not in the long run benefit the man. And that's why marriage reform has to be on the docket moving forward in the next couple of years with this administration. All right, let's keep going.
It's like the women are totally dependent on a relationship with a man to give up all of their labor, value, sex, all of that.
But you know, I just don't think that a lot of women who are wanting to be married wants to actually be a wife.
They don't. No,
They just want to get married.
They just
They
want the
want to go
wedding.
through they want the wedding. They want everybody to look at them and them to be the center of attention.
That's what it is. That's what it is. So when she gets married, in her mind, this is me being the best woman in the world. Ain't none of you bitches as good as me because I got the ring and look at my wedding. That's what's going, like it's a pageant, it's something in her head. Then she believes that has given her the eternal mortgage or deed on a man. Now she owned his eyes. You can't see nobody else but me. Now she owned his phallus. You can't put it nowhere else but in me. Your money belonged to me. And so it's not even about the woman will fight another woman over the man. She knows ultimately the man's nature, but instead of looking at the man is going to go here and there because that's his nature, she will fight every woman around the perimeter. Why did you give him an opportunity to cheat? Why did you touch my man? He can't cheat if you don't help him cheat. Like, the women want to be the center of attention. So if she believes that she got a weak enough man that won't go nowhere, she'll withhold sex from him to think that he won't cheat on her because she wants power over him to get him to submit to her will. If she deals with somebody that she can't have that kind of control over, she'll throw temper tantrums. Women will get very aggressive, passive aggressive. Women have a way of being violent without necessarily always putting their hands on you. But this is a control issue. This is not love. It's control for both parties. But when you start to get into how controlling women are, women can be very, very sadistic. They can be very, very manipulative, right? It's not about loving no man. Actually, women don't even like men. They don't like you.
You rub people the wrong way when you make these broad generalizations, right? Because I'm sure there's some women screaming right now at their phone, at their computer screen, like, I love my man.
Let me ask you this question.
My husband. I love men. What are you talking about?
Well, let me ask you this question. Do you spend all your energy trying to change something that you like to be something that you actually like?
No.
Do women spend their lifetime trying to change a man?
Pretty much.
So what they trying to change him into? Because if they like the man, then why are you spending all your energy trying to change him into something that you actually like? If women liked men, why don't women listen to men when they talk? If women liked men, why anytime a man speaks about what's going on with him, why they call it mansplaining? So he can shut up. If women liked men.
Yeah, I wonder why. I wonder why too. These are questions you ladies need to ask. Pause.
Pause. Pause. Pause. Pause. Pause.
You ladies need to explain that.
Why aren't women seeking to understand the people that they say they like? Because men understand a lot more about women than women understand about men. And men have to understand women. You know why? Because sex don't come easy to y'all. You have to put in the work to figure out what a woman wants in order for you to get.
I mean, it don't.
Man, listen. If you didn't learn nothing out, it's like Kevin Samuels said it best.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up! God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
Sex never came easy to men. And a lot of men know this. We are aware of this. Fair use, fair use.
Come easy unless you the gangster love.
Right.
Now that's cleaned up, man. That's different. That's a different category. But go ahead. I'm picking up what you're throwing down.
Yeah. So the majority of men don't just have peaches falling in their lap. They got to figure out how to get the peach. So men have to be attentive. They have to be observant. They have to test. Let me test this. Let me try this. Okay, this don't work. This don't work. Bingo, this what she respond to. She like that. Fuck what she say, cause a pair of lips will say anything.
Say, man. Say.
Pair of lips will say anything. So what she respond to? This what she respond to. This is how men start to figure out women. Women don't have to do that though, because sex come easy to them. Because the biological base of humans is sex. So she don't have to do that for sex, which allows her to live in fantasy land and be totally ignorant of what makes a man a man. So now she bargains and trades sex for him to play in her fantasy world. And if he don't do it, he's dusty. He is not man enough. If a woman really liked a man, he gay. If a man turn her down and she can't get her way, you must be gay.
I rebuke you. I rebuke. I rebuke you. I rebuke. I rebuke you. I rebuke. I rebuke you. I rebuke.
Okay, you can rebuke it all, but it's a very practical process with 49% of the population. And relationships are reflective.
And like I said before, you turn down that box from any modern woman, regardless, she could be regular size, big back, big back, or whatever. You be labeled and you'll be cussed out to the point it's gonna make you feel shame. Like literally shame. Women use these tactics to make you feel and demasculize you. Hope you're aware of this, ladies and gentlemen, especially you gentlemen. You rejecting a woman is a death toll to her subconscious and her ego. Fair use. Fair use. I'm just gonna let that sink in.
If women like men, then why is that the reality and not women?
Hello, Kai.
Actually seeking to understand the party that they say they like so much. You like a man, then why are you trying to change everything that makes the man the man? Why are you trying to transform him into a woman? See, you hate other women. It's too much like right to just get you a girlfriend if you want all of these feminine characteristics. No, you want to force him to do it. I was listening to Cam Newton when he was talking to Dr. Sarah, and she goes in to say that her parents been together for like 30 years. But her mama was doing all this work because her daddy slipped a disc in his back. And so her mama was paying all the bills because they went from 2 incomes to 1. And she was going to school, doing all of this stuff and handling everything at the house. And she say, I'm looking for a relationship like my mama and daddy. And I'm sitting up here saying like, ma'am, you got on red bottoms. It don't sound like you looking for a relationship where you got to have 5 kids and work and get a degree and take care of a man. It sounds like you looking for a man to do what your mama did for a man.
Man, she got red bottoms. I hope this chick look good. I hope she looks sexy. Think about it. But yeah, that means if he worked and looked like he might be doing physical manual labor job, that might have caused the disc to slip. But let's keep it real. That doesn't say that the man is a bum. It's just the work he did that was required him physically, he's unable to do no more. You might have to compensate for the time being. Now, let's be fair and honest. I'm gonna tell you ladies this. Normally, when the man gets injured and he could be out of the job in that manner, right? What does your man do will determine how he's gonna really rebound from being a physical labor man to now have to do things that doesn't require physicality. That's gonna take will. That's gonna take thinking. That's gonna take plan. That's gonna take a sense of using your head as a man to figure out how you're able to still function inside, knowing you're no longer physically capable of doing so. And I'm not saying there's an excuse for most men that get crippled, but most men today that are in those positions, they find a way It might not be pretty, but they'll find a way. Where there's will, there always is a way. So if your wife and your man is able to find that will and find a way, knowing he has these obstacles, you got an actual prize. And I don't say this loosely. All right, let's keep going. And welcome. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Likes are free. And if you want to support the channel, please hit it by Super Chat or Cash App. You know what it is. I love when y'all support, but I sure do take supports. Here we go.
I want my money.
I told you.
Where is my money?
Betty. Bring me everyone.
I need my money. I need my money.
What do you mean everyone?
Which is what most women do. I want a man that's gonna do this, that, and the other. But everything you saying that you want him to do is what women do for men, not the other way around. So women are actually looking for a woman in a male frame because the reality is women just like sleeping with men. They don't actually like men.
Wow, women, y'all got some spanning to do. Look, I'm trying to hold it down for y'all. You know, she tough now. I'm trying to hold it down for y'all. But she hitting on some cylinders now. I mean, I don't know how much longer I can hold off. What are your thoughts on women bringing men around their children?
I think they should
especially
stop.
Their little girls.
I think they should stop.
Is there any time that it's like remotely safe to bring a man around your child?
Nope, it's a gamble every time. Because when you understand the mind of a man, see, here's the thing. When you listen to men, all you got to do is turn on the podcast. All you got to do is read the comments. All you got to do is look at the world around you. Men always tell you, we visual creatures. We want them. We like youth and beauty. The men are telling you what they want. In my book, 41 Shades of Men, chapter 18 is called the I Want Your Child Man. And I got confessions of a pedophile in there, letting you know the details of what a man that targets children wants. It is not safe. And then on top of that, the canceled professor, he was on Diary of a CEO, and he let it be known that the number one predictor of child abuse is having a step parent in the house. This is the number one.
You know, I spoke with a cop, a former.
Now for that, let that sink in a little bit. I like how she rolled it back around about step parents, not stepfather, but step parents, because y'all are aware that women also harm children as well. Y'all know that, right? Matter of fact, that's the reason why they give the children to the mother, because of these things. For those that don't know. So knowing this, right? And really truly, I would say they should, if you're a mother and you're not being honest that you are a single mother, that pretty much really is telltale sign. And why I'm saying this, and hear me out while I'm telling you this. I hear now some women now, how they go about in the dating scheme now is now they are going to lie to the man they're dealing with. Hell, God knows they give this man pussy, but it's another story, right? That you will not know if she really does already have a made family, right, with kids, with no man in sight, right? She actually takes that choice or that option out of you, even if you ask her. And sometimes she'll be honest, she'll tell you the answer, or she'll lie to you, which most women will lie because they want to get some out of it. This is a transaction between you and her. That most women say with children are unfortunately vulnerable. And the reason why they're vulnerable because you're out here back on the streets instead of making a life with the man that you have kids with. Now, most men are not gonna really believe why you don't stay with your baby father, rather he's alive or dead. We know is that you're back out in the market because you up here just decide say you were not happy. And the biggest determinant you're not really happy is when you sit there, didn't get your way, you just start to kick out the actual present of the actual father of the child for a reason. Yeah. So no, I don't agree with this. But like I said before, once you have kids, your best bet is either you're going to co-parent properly or you give the kids to the father. I'm more proponent that the kid should go with the father, because then the father's going to be more responsible and he's going to be more attentive of who he has around his kids, and he's going to have to pay for it. But we can't have that conversation. We can't have that conversation. Anyhow, let's keep going and make sure everything's good. This. Y'all get me? Good. All right. Let's keep going. Phrase.
Cop. And I was floored when he told me. He said right there in that same chair you sitting in, and he told me that the number one call that they get is for stepdaddies touching children. I was floored. I was like, what? I thought it would be domestic abuse. You know, I thought it would be that. He was like, no, it is stepdaddies and, you know, other men or whatever touching on kids. That's the number one call they get.
Yeah. But women gonna keep doing it because women are desperate. See, women have all of the capabilities. Women have a neurological advantage over men. Women have all the abilities to perform and do things in society that they actually just want to be lazy and let men do, right? Dr. Amen, he did 40,000 brain scans between males and females and lets you know that it's a significant difference between male and female brains, and that women's prefrontal cortex is a lot more active, which means that they have better executive functioning. They have the ability to multitask. They have better impulse control, all this stuff. And they're designed to be very selective in their relationships sexually.
So would you had picked Kamala over Trump?
No.
Well, why not? Because you just said that women have all of this make these great executive decisions.
No, I didn't say they make great executive decisions. I say they have the brain capability to do so.
Okay.
But just because you got the potential to do something don't mean that you live up to your potential. Women are lazy. They want men to do the work that was intended for them to do.
So you would have voted for Trump?
I ain't vote for neither one of them.
You didn't vote for either one?
No.
How come you don't vote?
Because, like I asked you before, you are very well aware of local politics, and I understand that local politics is where you really have say-so. Your voice is more heard. People don't even participate in local politics. They don't even know who their city councilman is. They don't even know the structure of government. But we're going to take people who don't have no self-discipline, no self-control, don't know nothing about their own life, and we're going to give them a controller that's plugged up for them to vote on foreign politics and federal policy? No, ain't nobody giving you that kind of control.
If you guys watching, make sure you hit the like button, share the stream. Hope you're enjoying the show. Like always, and let me make sure I can hear myself in the other background. Make sure. All right, I'm good. Do I agree or disagree that regular American citizens should participate in all aspects of politics in the form of voting? I would say yes. Especially locally, you should be more focusing your attention to. And the reason why I say this is because local is where the power is, besides the president. President right now, as I look at, is more control. Personally, not saying you should not know what's going on in the more bigger affairs of America, but really where you really can make the real push and change is what you participate locally. And the typical Americans say don't really participate enough locally. That's why when everybody's pushing to vote for the president, they push that more than anything else because they push you into environments or push you in these type of arenas because they know you don't really have really much to say so. But they don't do that same thing in regards to local politics or what's in your neighborhood. You ever notice that, guys? That tells you, and they push you in a certain direction or promote it more in one way, like really push hard. That tells you you don't have no say so, but you do have say so locally. So I could agree with her in that form, that they're not going to hold too much responsibility of what goes in the White House with a typical American, regardless of the education background or where they are wise, or what they know. Well, let's listen more into that. Fair use.
The average American reads on a 6th grade level. And Kamala, literally to get the to get the black vote, what did she do? She got entertainers. And what entertainers did she get? She got hoes.
But Trump had entertainers too.
No, but she got hoes.
Well, Trump had entertainers too.
Men have an issue in this world. Right? Men got an issue that ain't nobody focusing on. So men screaming to the top of their lungs about the issues that they're having, right? High suicide rates, high addictive rates, broken families, child support, all this. Nobody's listening to them. And one of the big complaints that men have is about whoredom. And we understand why this is a problem. And so
break it down.
You get somebody that will have WAP up there, that'll have Plan B up there, that promotes, quote unquote, sexual recklessness, because that's what those artists promote, right? And if we care about the kids, which people say they procreate or have sex to care about the kids, but they practically abandon the kids and abuse the children, and then you have women using these children to get over on the system, why would we support somebody who also puts out the idea that we're going to continue to facilitate this behavior and we're not hearing your problems, right? So there's a reason why a lot of men were running towards Trump, because right now, ever since Kevin Samuels came out, Kevin Samuels gave men the open door to say out loud what they had been saying behind closed doors forever. And so now they have sparked some kind of a online revolution to see that we might have somebody that could take our issues into consideration, that might hear our voice for a change. And who did Trump appeal to more? The men, trying to get the men out to the vote polls.
Yeah, and I get you, because people decide, what's most important to them. And I guess for some people, especially black males who voted for him, police shooting black men in the head and getting away with it wasn't all that important. Because Trump already said he was going to give them full immunity. He's going to grant them full immunity. So I guess that wasn't that big of a deal. It was more important that Kamala didn't have hoes on the stage.
Yeah, I mean, because
my good brother, Willie D. How dumb, how ignorant you are, Willie. How ignorant you are. Let me explain. Matter of fact, this is the reason why I say this personally, why we need to stop worshiping artists, entertainers, any form of celebrities. And I'm kind of glad Kamala did what she did last year, bring out all these celebrities to help promote her little week campaign, which was roughly, from what I'm hearing from one Asian woman that helped gather money, was more than $1 billion. It was upwards to $2 billion. And didn't know where the money was spent, what they did with the money. To let you know that these same celebrities are so delusional. And Willie is one of them. You dumb fucking Negro. When we had the black president in office for 8 fucking years, cops were still blowing black men and peeling their heads back out the frame. Do you hear me? People that's listening to me right now, and you know y'all can't deny what I just said. When we had a black president, the cops were still doing what they're doing to black folks, including black men. I don't want that to sink in. I want you to conceptualize what I just said. When we had a black president, it didn't get easier for black folks. It got worse. And now it got worse, but they stepped it up a notch and start harming more black men and women, but especially we're harming a lot of black men. For those that did not know that. You wait for a man that is non-black to say out of his mouth that I'm going to protect these police officers to continue the onslaught and violence towards within the black community. That hold more weight on your subconscious brain, your little P1 brain. I'm sorry, I gotta go there. Than what would they already been doing and still do today. But the difference is, Mr. Charlie tells you in your face. But when you have other presidents, they don't say nothing. They just do it. They will not take no action when you get hurt by other people, including law enforcement. So I don't know what the hell you're talking about your concern that this president's going to give them immunity. They already had immunity. The immunity has been laid out and even laid out more by legislation from your Obama presidency. I could go right now and type it out. You can look up right now with the help of AI and it'll tell you what bills were passed during the last administration. Back 12, now going 13 years ago. So let's continue playing this because I'm not going to keep going on and on. I'm going to end this because I want to get through the halfway part of this. Let's go. Fair use, fair use.
Here's the thing. Trump is not running during the time of Tamir Rice, Walter Scott, Trayvon Martin. See see, humans have a attention span of a fish and their memory ain't that good. So what's going on right now is what matter. Because if black folks really cared about history and things, they would be taking school and education very seriously. Right? Because right now, a lot of our ancestors turning over in their graves looking at how we acting right now in the public, right? You fight all this time to get black folks an opportunity to read, and they don't want to read, they won't be on TikTok dancing, right? So black folks' attention span ain't that long. So since ain't no cop shootings that happen right now.
And not only their attention span not that long, it's gotten worse and worse. And this is why, this is my belief and my understanding. I don't give a crap about what happens to TikTok moving forward. The design of TikTok was the worst thing ever made to humankind in the last 4 or 5 years. Short content has turned your brain into a fly. It has meshed your brain so much that it make your brain get smaller and smaller, where you can't use your intellect now, because you can't retain or keep your attention, your focus on certain things that doesn't go beyond or over 60 seconds. You are in a state of mental retardation when you get to a point where you can't sit there and watch anything for over 6 seconds. You're retarded now. I'm sorry, and I know this is going to hurt some feelings. Some people might not respect this, but I'm going to be honest. If you're watching short content and short content only, you'll become retarded. Let's end this. Let's keep going. Fair use, fair use.
Time to get black folks an opportunity to read, and they don't want to read, they won't be on TikTok dancing, right? So black folks' attention span ain't that long. So since ain't no cop shootings that happen right now, that's in our peripheral. What's going on right now is we got to control the womb, because these women is out of control, and y'all speaking to what we feel right now. This is what we feel right now. Now, bring out another slew of Trayvon Martins and all of that, then the tone might change. But right now, the tone is it's a bunch of hoes out here and we need to control them. I mean, that's the tone.
Wow. It's a bunch of hoes out here and we need to control them. Who's more responsible for the condition of society, men or women?
I would say women.
Yeah, and how so?
Say again.
How so?
Because women are the holders of the womb. See, with more power come more responsibility. We can all agree that women hold the power because women are the gatekeepers to sex. That's the main thing that drives men's behaviors, is the opportunity. So if men have to, let me try it. Okay, this what she respond to. If I do this, then I'll be able to get my sexual reward. Well, why aren't women using sex as a tool to foster great communities? Because women will use sex as a tool to get a purse. She'll use sex as a tool to get her ego stroked, to try to manipulate somebody to marry her. So why don't you use this same tool to foster good behavior in men? Why don't you use this same tool to develop cohesive communities? That sounds too much like right. Because sex is a tool. Everybody use it as a tool.
Yeah, it is a tool. It is a tool. And it should be used effectively, responsibly. But it goes to show that if you're a woman and you're moving out of nature and you're trying to move in a chaotic form and you don't want no man to restore your chaos and bring order, then obviously you're going to use your pussy as a vessel, a means to a greater end for your behalves. I'm not sure why I made her wear green. That's a good question. But we'll leave it there. We're not going to go in further than that. All right, let's keep going. Fairies.
Men use it as a tool, but men do not have the power unless the woman agrees. So now we got to look at the woman. Why you like what you like? Because see, you sleep with what you like. You have a reason that you inviting these certain men into your house. What is it? See, that's the problem. Women's desires. See, a man can desire what he want all day because see, here's the difference. Men and women have two different fantasies. The man's fantasy is far more practical than a woman. Because see, a man can go to the strip club and pay a chick to perform for him for a certain period of time, and she can be that fantasy. And the more money you have, you can get a woman to do whatever you want her to do. You can pick who you want, and you can make her play that fantasy. A woman can't buy her fantasy out of a man. She can't pay for it. No amount of money, no amount of slave labor, no amount of force will get a woman her fantasy. This knight in shining armor who's 6 feet tall, got millions of dollars, and only see her and don't want no other woman but her. She can't pay for that because that don't exist. But she'll use sex to try to get that. But you won't use sex to foster great communities, to get men out to the voting polls, to make them better citizens.
Well, actually, I disagree. There was a large campaign for the last 4 years. Anybody in chat room know what I'm talking about. When they said, get your booty in the polls, and they use the feminized Pogie Man and one so-called, I forgot what her name was. One of them chicks, I think she's from Miami or whatever, to promote by using sex, their bodies, to force men, modern men, one that, are so gullible, to go and vote or they won't get no box. Like, good, you will not get no box. You will not get no intercourse with a woman. The funny thing, since I'm talking about this, I even heard someone said, if you don't vote who I want to vote, you're not getting no more box. I heard some dumb women was so mad when this one that want to win as president and be the first female president, how a lot of women were mad that black men did not vote for this bitch. And I said, you're delusional. Why would a black man waste his time, go out other than the polls to vote for this woman who has nothing to garnish or give to the men, especially the black men in the community. And the men that did do it, and there were a lot of black men, which I was ashamed of, but okay, that went and voted for that woman. And a lot of black women did not even did their damn research. The only people that did research was ones that were in Fox News, ABC. The ones that I think that might have lost their jobs know that black men participate and voted for Kamala, but they still lost. So you can't win, black men. You can't win. All right, let's keep going. How much more left? Oh, this thing's almost done. So I'm going to wrap this up. Fair use.
Because men want sex. And the reason why the bar is in hell is because women put it there. Women put the bar in hell because women have wicked desires. Mm-hmm. And they like, the men say, the women like bad boys. Women like wicked.
I saw a woman today on a video. She had a hair, I think it was blonde or something. It was short, really, really short cut. And this woman said, I like dope dealers and killers. Like,
damn, she's that type of chick. She's the definition of a ride or die chick for real. She wants to be excited. She wants to be in environments where there's shootouts, when the men are engaged in violence, hurting other black men, fighting and deleting other black men. Did you know, gentlemen, I'm talking to you right there. I'm talking to you right now. Listen. Did you know a lot of modern Western black women, or women generally, but just black women, because we're going to have a conversation with them. Do you know they get their pussy gets wet when they see other black men fight and hurt and delete each other? Did you know that? Are you aware of that? Sometimes they get even more wetter when they set two black men up to get deleted. Are you aware of this? That's a little secret no one talks about. All right? Fair use.
And she was an attractive woman, like from the outside. Obviously, her personality was riding to the core. But this woman said, I like drug dealers and killers. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I'm wondering how many baby daddies she got, how many dudes are in prison that she's dated, how many dudes she done set up, how many dudes she done been with, and when they got killed or they got popped and went to prison, that she ended up with their rivals.
Right. Yeah.
And what is she going to pass on to her girls?
Right.
That's crazy.
Right. Because here's the thing. We are energetic beings. We are frequencies. So women already hate other women. Women are always constantly in jealousy mode. This is an energy. This is a frequency. So jealousy, hatred, envy, all that stuff, these are low vibrational frequencies. So when you act and go have sex with somebody based on desire mixed in with jealousy and competition, what kind of energy is the baby that you are cooking? What kind of womb does that baby have to sit in for 9 months? If you cheat with a man because you want to get back at a woman or whatever, you're doing this out of evil. And so you get pregnant in the process. What kind of energy is that baby cooking in? Right? So the mentality of the woman and how she moves, and then the mentality of the man that she selects, because once a man ejaculates into a woman, he's transferring all his thoughts and feelings and emotions into her body. So you're talking about a Molotov cocktail that a baby got to sit in, this low energy, for 9 months. Who is more responsible for the production of this society when it's all based on desire and choice? The woman's desires create problems. A man can desire what he wants all day and live in fantasy, and if he got a little money, he can pay for it for a night. The only problem with the male's desires is that when he can't control himself and he begins to rob, kill, steal, and commit murder and all of those things, which is the reason why you need other men to be able to control this raw sexual energy in a man. But for a woman, this pervasive sexual fantasies and stuff, it can create a lot of problems if the woman don't have no self-control.
You're a thinker.
We'll stop it there. I think that y'all got enough out of this. Oh, one other thing before I do anything else. Y'all know what time it is.
I want my money.
I told you.
Where is my money?
Betty. Bring me everyone.
I need my money. I need my money.
What do you mean everyone?
If you guys enjoyed this stream today, be so kind to donate to the collection plate, rather super chat or cash app, $, what is it? I think it's Chaos 8 Rain. Yeah, that's $. Anyway. And oh damn, I forgot. Did I pin this bad boy? My apologies. I learned the hard way. I'm just learning a new vertical live stream, so I did not know. I didn't pin it. But if y'all feel what you got some out of this, pay for the time I did on today's stream. I will surely appreciate it. I will read super chats, rather y'all still do it or off the air would be respectful. But and wrapping up in this, and if you guys want me to do conclusion part, leave a comment in the comment section. In conclusion to this section of it, grifting today is gonna still remain on an all-time high. I think there from other people that does content, they say that this grift she's doing is not gonna last long. I think it's, to me, I think this is just me. I believe she'll be fine. Because there's someone always that is in need of more content. And let's be honest, when you change the subject around, it goes a long way. Personally, I think what she might do is she's gonna go even harder and hold women a little bit more accountable. And the men are gonna probably flock to this side now, because a lot of men today, unfortunately, and I don't want to say this, are ignorant and dumb. They don't understand the history of a lot of content creators. They flock to people that spread a message that isn't their benefit, but is not really to the benefit. It could be to their downfall or detriment, but that's either here or near, or either here nor there. I think she's gonna be fine, because how the internet works is you always could rebrand yourself many times. Is it who's going to be rocking with you after rebranding is always the determining factor. And before we step out of here, I got to do this.
But they be knocking, y'all. The sonic rings up out of it, and you.
Thank you, 3000 GT Atlanta, for your $2 super sticker. I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to hearing y'all thoughts in the comment section at the end of this video. Leave a comment. And if you are watching this from the beginning, watch it as long as you can and give this video a like. I know this is new content to kick off this year we're in now. I think there's gonna be more interesting content to come. We shall see. Be on the lookout for my next stream, which would be in a maybe. I'll say this. Just make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell for the uploads live streams here on the Chaos Ranger channel. The links to follow me are the above. You can follow me on Twitter at Chaos Ranger 7. You can add me as a friend on Facebook, Eric Rain on Facebook. You could join my Discord service as well. follow me on Rumble. I have a new video on Rumble, and I'm gonna probably put another one on Rumble pretty soon. So please follow me on Rumble. And last but not least, become a member of the Chaos Reign Show. There are some videos now for membership that you can view personally, and there's one that is the top video that I done that I had to really put on the wall paywall. But the one I did, that's the more extreme chaos you like as well. But you gotta pick which membership you think is suitable. So I'll leave it there. Thank y'all for watching today's stream. Until next time, the chaos
Man, fuck all you hoes. Fuck you and your mammy and your granny too. And fuck all you hoes. I'm sick of this shit. Fuck all you hoes. And fuck all you. Don't give a damn, bitch, what you wanna do. And fuck all you hoes.
Rebuke. I rebuke you. I 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 rebuke.
Okay, you can rebuke it all, but it's a very practical process with 49% of the population. And relationships are reflective. You reflect and draw the kind of men that you reflect. You draw what you are. So if your interactions are chaotic with men,
I rebuke.
about your rebuking, the clock counts for everybody.
Yes.
Kick rocks, bitch.